tiny.
One of them isn't.
Secondly, one of them isn't. Which one is it?
Romeo.
Romeo's not.
He's bigger than everyone else's finished.
I like this. So Carson's noticing that when you look across the top, day one, the first day so here's the thing. We pick them up on what I call day 0. Get them from the pound, bring them home, play with them. You don't weigh them that first day. You weigh them the next day, which I call day 1. So Carson's noticed something. When you look across the top here, they're all Paulina and Stella are 1.2, 1.25, and then Romeo's 1.6. Which again, going back to Burton's awesome question, how is that a lot more? He's 33% heavier than the other two. That's significant. No, but it's not though, because it's only 0.4 pounds. Okay, first things first. Let's look at the data using a scatter plot, because this is a good way. Was that the camera that just made that noise?
No.
It was. Oh, was it? Oh, it was you. Okay, good. I was going to make sure that we don't not record. Okay, so check this out. Everybody, we're going to put all the kittens on one scatter plot. Select the entire brick of data. The entire rectangle. Entire rectangle. Then go to insert. Then go to chart. And let's see if it picks the right one. Hopefully we'll see a bunch of dots. Let's see if it picks the right one. It definitely did not pick the right one. It made a cluster column chart, which is not what I want. So you know what to do. Go get the one you do want. Go get a scatter. Scroll down. Yep, there we go. There we go. There they are. Even color-coded for us. Oh, let me slide up a little bit. You can't see the horizontal axis marker. You can't see the horizontal marker down here. Is that better? Insert chart. You got Paulina's weight in blue, Romeo's weight in red or orange, whatever color that is, and Stella's weight in yellow. Question number 1 on the lab. Write down one thing you like about this chart, if anything, and write down one thing you don't like about this chart, if anything. If you don't like anything about the chart, be honest. I hate everything about this chart. I think it sucks. You can be honest, Taylor. It's totally fine. I can take it. One thing counts. Want to eat some more crack? I mean, apple slices?
That's an apple slice, though.
It's from my tree in my backyard.
That's not what you said it was.
I corrected myself. It's more.
Bro, you need an innate meeting before you.
Julie, what's up there? Oh, take your tree. Absolutely, brother.
You need crack to get on
That's
the
yours.
level.
Brian, what's up?
I think a little crack would help everyone in this room. Just like meat.
Like mellow out.
Select everything. Just
Meat
select
Sean's
it.
not.
There you go. Insert.
If you just did a form
Sure.
of Abby, you
Can you get the wrong one first, probably? It does not. Yep, you're right there. It's fine, scanner. Scroll down a little bit. Oh, hold that thought. We're going to do that soon. You only got Stella, but here, let's hold that thought. Don't change that, okay? Don't change that. Okay, give me something you like about this chart, fam.
Colors.
The colors are nice.
Yeah.
You got the kittens all color-coded? I like that too. I think that's great. I like seeing them stacked up day by day. But there's one thing I personally don't like. And Carson, what do you see?
It's disgusting. I can't see one of the
Yeah.
dots.
Yeah, like sometimes you see 3 dots, which you should see 3 dots every day, right? Like for example, right here. There's Stella,
Well, not on like.
there's Paulina, and there's Romeo.
This is day 4 when they both weigh the same.
Yeah, day 4, where's Paulina? Day 3, where's Romeo? And the thing is, we know why. They both weigh the same, but who both weighs the same? Which one weighs the same? Is this one Romeo is the same as Paulina, or Romeo the same as Stella?
Isn't
Which
that,
then forces you to go back to the data to look at it, right? Then you have to go back and look. That's a pain in the ass. So that was exactly what I kind of thought you would say. I thought you would say, I like it because it's cool, it's color coded. You can see all the kittens at all the times. That's kind of fun, right? I like that too. It's kind of lame though because the kittens get in each other's way. So sometimes simultaneous scatter plots are great. Like the warm up, I thought was a good one. because the two graphs didn't get in each other's way. They were showing the same data two different ways, but they weren't on top of each other in a way that prevented you from understanding it. So here's what I recommend we do. Let's make 3 individual scatter plots of the kittens. I know. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. Okay, delete that one. Delete it. Click on it. Hit delete or backspace or whatever you have to click to make it go away. This is why I told you, Serena, not to delete yours. Now, I'm going to start with Paulina's just because she's the closest to the days. Just like you did the last one, dear friends, grab the data for just the days and Paulina. So all I did was I selected day and Paulina. Just this brick right here. Go back in, insert the chart. It's probably going to, I'm going to guess it's going to give you the wrong one again, and then fix it and make, oh yeah. Make sure you grab the data first. And don't do
I
it.
already did that one. I was just trying to
Oh,
figure out how to.
Oh, don't worry. We'll get to that in a second. So Mary has already posed a question, which is a great one. So we're going to insert the chart. And then, yep, Paulina gave us a column chart, so we're going to change it to a scatter. There's just Paulina. I'm going to resize her a little bit and just put her like over here for now. We're going to add 2 more of these, right? Romeo and Stella. Okay, now, try to make one for just Romeo.
No.
No? Yes, you can.
I don't know how.
It's even easier than that. It's a button push.
Yeah, which one?
So when you're in spreadsheets, and this is for any spreadsheet, not just sheets, but also Excel, if you have to grab columns that aren't next to each other, if you have an HP, well, watch. First of all, select the days. First of all, select the days with the header of day. Somebody just said it. Somebody just said it. For an HP machine, hold the control button down now. And now you can select another column that's not next to the one. This comes in real handy, friends, in spreadsheets. I learned this the hard way. Say that again.
For Apple, it's command.
For Apple, it's command. Thank you, Carson. I was about ready to do. Yeah, thank you. Yes, for Apple, it's command. For HP, it's control. Does an Apple have a control button?
It does.
Yeah, but
Anyway, it's not. So now we can do Romeo. Oh,
It does. I've never touched it.
now we can do Romeo. Insert. Chart. Will it learn this time? Nope.
It like that.
There's Romeo. Oh, and I see what Carson said earlier. Carson was concerned about Romeo losing weight. We can actually see it now, can't we?
Wait, why?
Help me what? Of course I'll help you. What you need help with, my dear friend? And then use the same trick and please do Stella. What you got? What's that? Oh, so click on top of Romeo's weight counts and then are you holding down? Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So use the command. So let's start again. Let's just click down here. Grab the days. Yeah, there you go. Okay, good. Now hold down the command button. Hold on. Come down to here.
Okay.
Just as
Beautiful. Hold down, control. Command. And you guys are back. And then try to use your mouse and just highlight Romeo and down. There you go. Gorgeous. There she was. There you got it. You got it.
Thank you.
Everybody get Stella too? Let's do Stella. All right, Stella.
I feel like if she saw the warm up, she would leave.
Insert chart. Hey, it learned. Son of a bitch. Only took 4 charts to learn. All right, there they are.
yeah, I was like, yeah, what's the leaders?
All right. Hey, let's talk about these charts. What do you like about them? What do you not like about them? What do you like about them now? You like anything?
I can see every single dot.
Yep. See every single dot.
I don't like Stella's weight.
I don't like Stella's.
why didn't, like, it happened to me too, but why wasn't the BAF in that up to 2?
Oh, so Carson asked a fantastic just question right now. Did you hear it? I'm gonna repeat it in case you didn't hear it. He's looking at all three side by side like this, and he's a little upset that Polina and Romeo's graphs go up to 2 pounds, Stella's doesn't.
It's because Stella never gets past 1.5.
Here's my guess. Here, I think that's exactly why. I looked up and saw Stella's weight here, Carson. I think it never got past. You know what? I bet you we could force it to be up to 2.
If you put it at 1.6.
Double click the graph on that axis right there.
And then
Double click on the axis that is upset Carson. Come on, it's fun.
vertical.
Oh yeah, you just changed the max.
Yes, Avery. This is the nice thing about spreadsheets. It gives you the power to go in.
Yeah,
When I double clicked on that, now you get the customize option for the chart now. There's a lot of stuff we can customize. We're gonna do quite a bit of this today, just so you know, in this lab. Down here, mine didn't scroll down to it. You see vertical axis down there? Scroll down to vertical axis. Sheets will automatically hit the min and the max for the vertical axis, but you can override that and put your own stuff in. So why don't we override it for the max and put in 2? Because that's what Carson asked for, and I think that's a completely reasonable request. Put in 2 there, and look what happens. Look at that. Now all 3 graphs go from 0 to 2 pounds. I agree, brother. I think that was a good idea. Good. Oh, can we do one more thing since we just learned about axis adjustment? It starts at 1 here. Can we start? Thank you. Can we start it at 0? Because we picked them up on day 0, but then we weighed them on day 1. So let's double click on the horizontal here. I learned a trick yesterday too. This is pretty cool. Double click on any one of your graphs to open up the horizontal axis.
You can do all of them.
You can. So, and now this is kind of nice. It actually showed up right at the horizontal axis when I clicked it that time. I don't really understand the AI that's working here. I'm going to change that to 0. And then you can actually just click on each of the other graphs and change those each to 0 too, except I hid the line behind. So I can do that. Double click on that. Click on it. But now Hannah's pissed. You're not? You sure? You're okay. Anybody else pissed about the change I just made? I'm kind of pissed actually. Look at that axis. What happened?
Hey, it's stretched the wrong way because you didn't give it a maximum.
Yeah.
Put 7 in there, dude.
Put 7 in there, dude. I lost all the 1s, 3s, 5s, and 7s. I lost the individual. That pisses me off. So go in and put a max of 7 in. Please. That way you get all the points back. I don't know why it did that. It just did it. So make that 7. Make that 7. And then make this one over here 7.
There's a max.
What? That changed it?
Just
Oh, okay, so now Hillary's upset, and I think, I discovered something new goofing around yesterday. So Hillary's pissed off that now the 7 weight is half. Check this out. Watch this. This is actually really cool. If you double click on the axis again, I never knew what this was until yesterday. You see how it says allow bounds to hide data? Uncheck that. Uncheck that for each graph, and what you'll notice is it'll actually shove it over a little tiny bit and make it so it doesn't piss you off anymore.
wait, what did you just do?
So check it out, Carson. Right under the min and max, there's a button that says allow bounds to hide data.
When I click,
Uncheck it. And that way your last data point won't get chopped in half.
which one is that?
This is Stella, but they all look the same.
But it's under axis.
It's under horizontal axis. You don't?
Oh, it's under horizontal.
It's horizontal, not vertical. It's horizontal axis. Is that okay, Mariah? It should be in there. Let's take a look.
I did.
Change your, go back to horizontal axis. I think I know why. Change that to 0 and 7.
That's so good.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, so great. Mariah just discovered something. Thank you, Mariah. I appreciate it very much. This button will only show up if you manually override these numbers. So you have to change at least one of these, then that box shows up, which I don't know why.
What?
But it
Really?
does. Yes. Yeah, so you want to click on the vertical axis, on the axis itself, the actual numbers. and then change that max to 2. I think 2 is a good number right there. Yeah, there you go, brother. Love it. Good. There's something else I put on the lab you can ignore. It says, let's change the vertical axis to start at 1 pound instead of 0. Let's just leave it the way it is. I'm down with it the way it is. Okay, let's do a couple questions about this now. Every one of those graphs, I'm going to close down that chart editor over there. Every one of these graphs, dear friends, has 7 points on it, right? Every one of those graphs has 7 points on it. Tell me again why there's 7 points on each graph.
There's 7 days that they were waiting. There's 7 days.
Well,
that they were
sorry.
waiting.
There's 8 places to put points. I only put 7 in because we didn't weigh them on day 0. No, it detailed. I love this, by the way. It's a fence post problem again, right? That damn fence post thing with time always screws everything up. So there's 7 points, 8 places, 7 points. Each of those points actually contains 2 pieces of information, does it not? This is the cool thing about scatter plots. Every scatter plot point contains 2 pieces of information. Number 2, I'm asking you about it. What do each of those points tell me, or tell me about each of the 2 components? Woo! So, how about on day 2? How about on day 3? I love what you're doing now. I made a bastard because I'm hiding the data from you, but it doesn't matter because the graph can get the data for you, can it not? And remember too, this is something you might come in handy. If you're on a graph, you can hover your mouse over the graph and see the points. But you don't need that for a scatter plot. Each of those points, what's the first piece of information it tells you? The weight. Oh, I can go either way. Let's go with day first, Serena. I like that. First thing it tells you is the day. And the second thing it tells you is the? There you go. It tells you the weight on a day, or it tells you the day and then the weight. Either way. And the chart itself tells you which kitten, but each point tells you those 2 pieces of information. Thank you, Serena. Perfectly said. So it tells you the day and the weight on that day. Now, quick little review here. We haven't talked about this much, and you'll talk about it more in Math 105. And we'll spend a lot of time doing that then. There's this phrase, independent variable, dependent variable. Independent variable, dependent variable. Which one makes the most sense to be the independent variable here? And which one makes the most sense to be the dependent variable? And this is something you probably learned at some point when you were knee high to a grasshopper. But Hannah, what do you think? And tell me, I love that by the way, tell me why you picked those. No, I love what you said. I agree wholeheartedly with Hannah's assessment. Time is generally a really good independent variable because nothing affects time. Got the speed of light, but we can't move that fast, so it doesn't matter anyway. So time just marches on, right? You've been here with me for just about an hour now. I tell you, the days just keep on going. Days just keep on going. Lots of things depend on time, though, right? Like you getting here today depended on the time. I'm sure you set your alarm to get up, unless you can get up naturally. But either whether you can or not, your behavior depended on the time, right? And when you eat lunch will depend on the time. When you go to bed will depend on the time. Time doesn't depend on anything. So time is a really good independent variable, almost always, dear friends. The weight of these kittens, and I like what you said, Hannah. You said the weight of those kittens depends on lots of things. But all those things also depend on time. When do we feed them? We decided as a family to always feed them at the same time. I forget when that was. But we decided to watch the clock and feed them. It's incredible how often you look at a clock during the day, isn't it? Whether your phone or your watch. It's incredible how often you look at that to see. So yeah, I think independent time is a great independent variable. And I think the weight of the kittens is a fantastic dependent variable. Thank you very much. Is that okay, friends? Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. When time is a variable, it is almost always the independent variable. I can't even begin to explain any other situation where you'd want it to be dependent on something else. Okay. Good so far? Thumbs up if you're okay. Thumbs up if we're okay. All right. You're a little quieter than usual today. That's all right, though. Want to take a break? Let's take a break. Well, can we ask one more question, then take a break? Next page.
How do we turn?
Which kitten most consistently? And how did you decide? And there is not a right answer for number 5.
Are you sure there is?
There's not a right, no, there's not, because I haven't defined what consistent means.
Well, I can divine it.
You can define it your own way, that's totally fine, Carson. That's why I'm saying there's not a correct answer. I think there's a wrong answer,
Yeah.
I just don't think there's a single correct answer.
I think there
So
is.
take a look at those kittens, Stella, Romeo, Paulina. And you tell me which one you think is gaining weight most consistently. And tell me why. So Carson, give me your vote, brother.
Fine.
Tell me why, dear friend.
Well, it grows almost every day by almost a consistent same amount.
I like that.
Stella's weight grows almost every single way, but there's 3 days where she doesn't.
Oh, I like, okay.
And
So
that's where my consistency.
I like this measure, Carson. Well, Carson is actually doing it. I like this very much, by the way, brother. Starting with Stella. Stella hops up a little bit and then stays the same weight for 2 full days. Then hops up, then stays the same. So she has plateaued for like half of that week.
When you draw a trend line for that, it makes
Oh.
it way
After
ugly.
break. After break. Oh, listen. I want to take a break. I'll find the average first. You. Listen to you. So is anybody else saying Paulina is the most consistent for a reason similar to Carson's? I love that. Is anybody saying Stella's the most consistent? She's not. I don't think you're wrong to say Stella's the most consistent. Dylan, what are you thinking? I mean, and that's the thing. It depends on how you define consistency. Which, the reason I ask you this question, and the reason I'm asking you the question on the take-home about the SOADA, if you haven't looked at that yet, you will see it soon enough. Measuring consistency in statistics is tricky. You have to establish the definition of what consistent means. Carson has done that.
Well, how far from the average it is?
Right, and Carson has done that, and Hillary has actually brought up the average, which we'll get back into after break. Anybody pick Romeo? I don't think anybody picked Romeo for a couple of reasons. A, inconsistently, and B, he's actually losing weight over those days, yes? Okay, good place to stop, because I want to talk about that trend line idea that somebody just brought up. Carson, was it you that brought it up? Yeah. And Hillary, you were actually referring to it, weren't you? Yeah, you were. Let's take 5, though, and let's come back at 9:05. We'll get back into these trend lines. Bert, what you got, baby?
Well, I'm kind of curious. I was struggling with the take-home test question where there's 3 different outcomes.
Yes. Well, there's 3 different scores for each apple.
Right. So my question is comparing this to that, like, how do I get the average of each of these weight?
You need 5 minutes.
That's kind of what's asking me on the other.
It's similar. The difference in the take-home. The take-home isn't a time. In this one, you're watching the same kitten over time. Right. This is not rating them. Right, exactly. The whole take-home is about Sasha Garnbrett got this place in the speed climbing, then she got this place in the bouldering, then she got this place. We have to combine those 3 scores.
But it's like 1 out of 8.
Right, each of them, because first is first place, 8th is 8th place, and then somewhere in between.
So I guess I'm comparing like
These really aren't related to each
The
other.
reason it was asked in the take home is because the 3rd place has the same score as the 4th place, but the 3rd place is more consistent, and then you're supposed to learn why and how.
I couldn't understand that.
It's basically what you're doing is finding the average of their scores, so they have one average. But some of the, like, say one guy got 1 point on speed climbing and then 8 on the other 2. Like, that's insane. But his consistency is like, where the fuck is it? Then you take the average. The average of that is like,
Yeah, you can
That's
you
what I was
sometime.
struggling.
well, it's 17
Here's what
divided
you have
by
to do.
3.
You do this, then you have to do this.
Between him and me,
I
it's
know.
not
It's
a
17
good
over
combo
3 for
in
that one
class.
specifically, but it's the 3 scores divided by 3, and then you get their average score for.
Jacket.
Yeah.
Jacket, oh, that's fun. We're funny, I got you.
I don't like it so much.
That's so funny. Oh, let me staple some stuff while you're all breaking.
Okay.
That's staple here. No.
So how far is 1 from 5.6? It's 4.6 away from it. Wait, how did you get 5.6? Their averages, so it's 1 plus 8 plus 8 divided.
I gave you staple? No. I gave you staple for your ladder.
So you can do that for any of them. It's the all 3 scores average and then divided by 8.
Can I get my staple for you? Thank you. Staple.
The average of Miho would be 3.
There you go. Staple.
So we want Yeah, these are
Oh.
near spots for
So, I got a lot of emails yesterday, one of yours got lost in the shuffle. Oh, yeah, sure. What's that, Ben? So the blue ones, you don't have to actually cut them out if you don't want to. The blue ones, if you turn in something late, I just cashed in one of those blue coupons for you. So in other words, if you've ever turned a late assignment in because you forgot it or something, you'll notice at the bottom of your progress report, it'll say you have 2 rainy day points left or something like that. The other ones, the yellow ones, if you miss points on anything, each one of those allows you to make up 5 points back. Yeah, so you can go through all your old work. I'm gonna tell you guys about this again on Thursday. This Thursday, the last time I see you before the final, and I want you to cash those points in if you can. Yeah. This is your post. No, you're working together. This is exactly why you take them, brother. I want you to do stuff like that. Does that make sense what he said, Bert?
Yeah, I'm gonna watch the video.
Please, oh God, please watch it. Jesus, dude. The video's kind of important.
I was just kind of shocked, and then I was like, I need to.
Yeah, sometimes I think people just don't, like when I said like, go to campus and watch the video, like, I can do it without it. I'm like, sometimes you can't. Sometimes the video is pretty important. When I say sometimes, they, I mean all the time.
So do the Rushmore's crazy. Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah.
Serena,
I like how pretty it
may I
is.
stay with your labs?
Beautiful.
Tell me, did I get yours already? I did. I got yours, yeah. Stay at the table.
They're inches, oh, I thought they were feet. So, you could go crazy on a wig ass on this. They're on campus, you just take them. Yeah. Yeah, but how many of them?
No, you're doing a great job. You're saying it perfectly. You're saying it perfectly.
Are they like?
Time doesn't depend on anything. It's independent of everything. Oh, Marie, sorry, yes. Let me get my glasses on. Take a look. It looks like you may have selected more than one thing at a time. Maybe. So. Don't click on the chart. I know what you do. So go to setup. Yeah, drop that down. Select that right there. Hopefully you didn't. Let's just try doing it again. Let's just go and do Hawaiian again. So let's hop. Just click. I'm just gonna click on the next page. There you go. So. Yeah, that's good. So grab just the day and highlight just. Oh! Your days all say 1. That's what's going on, dude. So change 1 to 1, 2, 3, 4. You want to drag the 1 down. Yeah, so make that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then highlight them and then drop it. I bet you that's weird. Weird. Hey, Will. Did you get out Saturday?
No, it rained on Saturday. We had like a couple things that went on, but then like it rained out and like the Okay, nice.
Yeah, they've been shut down since till today. I think they're reassessing.
Is that your preferred weekend then? Is that your preferred weekend?
A couple of my friends went out to my
Don't be, give it me. Telling you. I know.
It's fun to go and actually pay this bill. It's even better.
Velveeta, yeah, it's gonna be awesome. I'm telling you.
Oh, right, Barry works there. You know, always get the skinny from Mary. Blizzard. The headline is great. Mount Bachelor opens in a blizzard.
Yeah, no, the first, like, that was a wonderful day.
Yep. Any injuries?
Yeah, we had a couple. But mostly it was like, us, like, putting all this gear back in.
Yep. I can only imagine a mount that big. I told you the only time I
It's like, no.
Oh, dude, I
Yep.
love that. It's all
Absolutely.
water load too. I don't think I got into
I only got
that till,
7 right. Based off the.
I told you the only time I
That's
skied
pretty
back
damn
right?
Lobster.
The day after you closed.
That's pretty damn good.
Skin to the top.
I
It's
like
my one run of the year. Skin to the top, bomb on the summit,